Hi Mama, welcome to Becca Holmes Yoga and welcome to this Fertility Yin Yoga class. So fertility is of course a very complex medical science, but what we can do in the yoga practice is assist our spiritual and emotional selves and beings as we go on this fertility journey. So today I invite you to come with me as we practice this Yin Yoga class and we open up our sacral chakra, which is our womb space, and focus on the energy of our reproductive system there. And then we'll also open up the heart space, opening up to love and that spiritual side of inviting a baby in on our fertility journey. Before we get started, if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. That helps us keep free yoga on the internet for all the mamas that need it, and you'll get notifications of my weekly classes. All right, let's begin in Shavasana. So go ahead and lie down on your back. And I do have props. I always recommend props for any kind of pregnancy-related yoga because you never know when you might need it. So I usually have a bolster or some kind of pillow or cushion, some kind of meditation cushion, and 2 blocks. And then today, I don't think I'm going to use any. Shavasana straight on my back feels pretty good. For you, you always have the option to lift the knees and place a bolster or pillow under the knees. You might also feel more comfortable with a pillow under your head. Find what works for you. And then settle in here. And again, in Yin Yoga, we're really focusing on our joints, our ligaments, our connective tissues, as well as energy flow. So as we open up those things in our body, allowing energy to flow through, that's what really makes Yin Yoga so powerful. So in each posture, I'll ask you to find some stillness and see if you can't settle in and go about 50 to 60% of your edge of what you can feel as a stretch, like 50 to 60% depth. And then we're going to hold steady for approximately 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the posture. And wherever you are on your pregnancy journey, whether you're in your fertility journey, maybe you're in very early first trimester, however that's been for you, welcome. Welcome to the mat. Welcome to this practice where you get to join with yourself, your spirit self, and maybe connect with baby, whether baby again is with you or still on the way. This is a space for just you to connect and join in that union of spirits, union, which is, of course, what yoga translates to. And next we're moving into a supported bridge. So we'll bring the soles of the feet up towards the glutes, knees in the air. And then I am going to use a block for this. You can use a pillow. And lifting the hips, squeezing the knees together, pressing the hips up, place the block right at the small of your back. So not the meaty part of your bum and not where your back arches, but right on the back of like the hips, right? The pelvic space. Adjust till that feels good. And then settle in here. So we're letting some blood flow down. Again, really focusing on the energy that is flowing to our sacral womb space as we take each of these postures. We'll hold this one for 3 minutes. And if you do want to play with extending the legs, you could also do that to open up more of a stretch through the front of the body. Again, only going to about 50 to 60% of your depth. So whichever feels better as far as that goes, so that we don't have too much effort here. If you extended your legs, bring the soles of the feet back towards the glutes again. And then slowly coming out, we'll lift the hips again, pushing away with the feet, and just slide your block out from underneath. Rest the hips back down. And for a counter posture, it might feel good to either hug the knees in a little bit, and you can do a little bit of circles massaging the lower back, or you might keep the feet down and windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Just taking a few seconds here to kind of rebound from that posture. And then coming back to stillness. Our next posture is going to be a twist, and then we're going to have our arms in goalpost or cactus. So for the twist, you might invite in a cushion or a block. Let's see. So I'd invite you to lift the feet up, and then we're going to drop to the side. And then try to really twist from the back. Our hips and upper back are not moving a lot. And then I've got a little bit of a gap here between my knees. Let me play with the block. That actually feels really good. So again, you can play with your cushions. You can have cushions blocks under both knees and have your knees touching. But if you have some space, I'd encourage you to close the gap here. And then open the arms up goalpost. And if this is too intense, you can also bring the elbows down a little bit or just have the arms out to the side. The idea is that we're opening through the chest, through that heart space, really focusing on love. And just thinking of our babies, inviting them in to our spiritual space, to our emotional centers, and thinking of that love that we'll share. And we're holding here for 3 minutes on each side. Let's transition to the other side. So if you have any props you need to set aside, go ahead and do that. Bring the knees back into center. And again, it might feel good to hug them in. A couple circles. Maybe you extend the legs. And then we prepare for the other side. Dropping your knees, again, filling any gaps. Finding your goalpost arms. And again, taking this time to send good thoughts, to send breath into your heart space. Three minutes here. Slowly come back to center. Take your time. Find that counter posture, whatever works for you, whether it's stretching the legs out, hugging the knees in, doing some circles, or planting the feet and windshield wiper knees. And next, meet me in a seat. So let's roll over to one side and use our arms to push us up. And then we're coming into your version of lotus so that we can do a 5-minute meditation together. So find a comfortable seat. It might be Sukhasana or just cross-legged easy seat for you right now. You might lift the hips. You might find a half lotus or full lotus where the right foot is going to come over the left thigh and then the left foot's going to come over the right foot. But half lotus is where I'm at in my practice right now. But whatever you do, find what you can settle in for a 5-minute meditation. And then roll the shoulders back. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, head and neck straight. Eyes closed. And find your breath. Observe your inhales, your exhales. Notice if they're even, if they're steady. Or maybe they're shaky or shallow. No need to judge or change, just observe. Air is the element of our heart chakra. So as you breathe, imagine sending that air into that heart chakra space, swimming around and inviting in love, inviting in your baby. And when we breathe, it also gives that life-giving oxygen flow to our babies in the womb. And breathing is one of the first things that they do when they come earthside. So a lot of stuff goes on. Just something as so simple as breathing. Something we take for granted and do all the time, subconsciously, unconsciously. Really fascinating when you focus in on everything breath encompasses, especially when it comes to pregnancy and birth. So let's sit in meditation here a few more minutes together, and then we'll end the practice in Shavasana. Let's blink the eyes open. And then take Shavasana, final rest for our final posture, about 10 minutes. A nice long Shavasana. I think for this one, I'm going to use my bolster. So again, find what is most comfortable for you. Palms facing up. The feet flop open, the fingers curl, completely relax, letting the earth hold you. And let Shavasana be a time for your body to reset, to completely take in this practice, the physical, the energetic, the emotional. The fertility journey is so involved. I'm sure, as you know, if you're already here, it can be very emotional. It can be a spiritual awakening. There's a lot going on. So maybe this time is for you to just reflect, contemplate, allow any emotions to come. No judgment, just letting them come in, observe, and let them pass through. Observe the mind. Observe the breath. And settle in here in silence. And then we'll finish the class out together. Let's come back into this space, taking a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Blink the eyes open, wiggle the fingers and the toes, work your way up the limbs, ankles, wrists, elbows, knees. Hugging the knees into the chest. Rolling side to side if you need to wake up a little. And then coming on to your left side. Take a pause here, take a breath, and then using your arms, push yourself up. Let's meet in a seat. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Fertility Yin Yoga. I'd invite you even to take this practice further. Whenever we sit in meditation and or in stillness and shavasana for such a long time, the mind can bring up a lot of stuff. So if anything came up for you, I invite you to like journal about it or just kind of contemplate that throughout your day. If you haven't already, again, go ahead and subscribe so that I can see you in my next week's class. And I'll see you then. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.